Hey there, I'm Kimo Quance, and I want to show you today how to get a seller to price their property perfectly and exactly how you want to get it. So whenever I'm on a listing presentation, I do not really ever get pricing objections when you do this technique correctly. Now you've all seen these kind of techniques that you'll see a chart that talks about, okay, this is your house on the market and everything, how long it's been on the market, your sweet spot and all that, okay? What most people do is they just have that chart already printed out and then they show it and just point it out, okay? This is what you have to do to get your seller to price their house correctly. So I actually write all of this out, and you're gonna notice when I'm doing this video, you're gonna notice that you're gonna follow my writing and you're gonna see exactly what I'm doing, and you're gonna pay attention a lot more by following exactly what I'm writing. And that's what the seller does with you as well. So you want to write this out for the seller to get the point and the understanding of why you need to price it the right way. But also what's cool is it puts the pricing on them to tell you what they want to price it for, and 9 times out of 10 they're going to price it exactly where you want it. Okay, so let's imagine we're looking at a property that's 600 and say we think it's going to sell for 625,000. Okay, so I write this out in front of the seller. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this is your house on the market. This is how many weeks your property is on the market. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The longer your home is on the market, we see this all the time, and it's done with studies with the National Association of Realtors. Every year they put out a study, and it always shows the longer your home's on the market, the lower the selling price ends up being, okay? And the reason why this is, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, is what happens is the first 2 weeks your home is on the market, that's gonna be your sweet spot. There's only X amount of buyers in the market at any given time, and they're gonna see this, your property, on the market during those first couple weeks it's there. And what happens after this, you're gonna be looking for a new buyer to hit the market. So why it sells for so little down here is people price their property too high, which in turn, a buyer is not gonna wanna go take a look because of that. And in no matter what market you're in, if it's overpriced and they feel it's overpriced, they're not gonna go take a look at it, okay? And so what this does, now you're past the sweet spot, no one's gonna come see it, or not as many people are gonna come see it, and it's gonna be overpriced. Now you're gonna get past the sweet spot, and you're gonna have to get in a situation where you have to drop the price to try to get someone interested, and that's why it sells for less down here. The other reason is people are gonna figure you're desperate, and they're gonna wanna send you a lowball offer for your property, okay? There are also people gonna think, man, there's gotta be something wrong with the property that has been on the market so long. And thirdly, they're gonna figure, hey, if no one else wants it, why would I want it? They don't want it because other people don't want it, okay? So the whole point of this chart is you wanna make sure you price accurately or slightly under market, okay? And the under market strategy is not just in a seller's market, it's also for a buyer's market. It's really at any given time. And here's the reason why. So this line, these lines are the same, okay? Just for example purposes. So in a buyer's market, or excuse me, a seller's market, so let's say we think the market is right here. We think that's where the buyer is going to buy the property. That's where we think the market is worth. That's what we think is going to happen. But we can be wrong. The market can decide that it doesn't like your property for that particular price. Okay? It does happen sometimes. So when you price it slightly under, okay, what happens is if it's truly worth that market price, we are going to get it up there with a bidding war. We'll get multiple offers. If it's truly worth what we think it's worth, we're gonna get multiple offers and get it to where it's supposed to be. as I've shown you in the CMA and all the other listings, that when it's priced correctly, you're actually going to get multiple offers and it sells over asking price. Okay? But this is also protects you because let's say we think the property is worth that and we price it at this, but the market is not responding and not want to buy it at that price. Okay? They don't think it's worth it. Now, guess what? You're actually priced accurately. So you're not in this situation where you have to drop the price to try to get someone interested, because that obviously shows desperation as well, and you can end up chasing the market down. Okay? The other reason here, this is for a seller's market, but it's also for a buyer's market as well. So if it's more of a buyer's market, right, the buyer has the power. So if we have this line here and we're wanting to sell it, right now it's now a buyer's market, we're hoping we can sell it for that. Okay, but if you price it where you think or where you're hoping it's going to sell, what happens is now you're in a situation, if you're wrong, now you're definitely overpriced because it's a buyer's market. And now let's say the market is here. Okay, now you've moved your property here, but now the market moves here, so you're chasing the market. Okay, so what you want to do is, let's cross this out for a second. If the market is here, you want to get in front of the market. Why all the other houses are all priced around here, you're ahead of the market. So people are going to flock to your house because they figure there's a perceived deal. Okay? So this is exactly what I do for them to explain, for them to understand. And when you do this correctly, they'll understand that you want to price it accurately because of that. Okay? The other thing we'll do is explain the different pricing strategies. We'll explain range pricing. Right? Range pricing, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this is going to be something like, okay, 99 to 24. Okay? The problem with this one, Mrs. Seller, is most websites out there are only going to show the top number of the range. Okay? And so what happens is that the buyer may not see that you're actually looking at property or looking at offers below that before, because the way the websites out there, the Zillows and the Redfins and the this and that, they all show the top number. So the next strategy here is what's basically odd number pricing. This is something like 99 or 624, 995, or anywhere in between, 618, 995, etc. And I'll come back to that one. And then the last one is hard number. This is pricing the property right on a $25,000 increment, or 625. So 600 or 625. The reason why this one is popular is because when people are searching the internet from 500 to 600 or 600 to 700, your property shows up and you get more eyeballs on your property when it's priced like that. That's the popular one with hard number pricing, is you get more eyeballs looking at your house. The more eyeballs you get on the property, the more people will come look at it. The more people come look at it, the more offers you get. The more offers you get, the higher price you sell it for. The second option with the odd number pricing, this one historically, National Association of Realtors shows that you will sell your house slightly more, but it'll take longer to sell if you price it slightly under at a $599 or a $624, just under the $25,000 increment. So then I'll ask the buyer, or excuse me, ask the seller, when you're looking at this, which one are you leaning towards more? Which one do you like the best? And then what happens is inevitably they tell you, I like the hard number pricing to get more eyeballs on it. And then I'll ask them, okay, do you want to do the 600 or do you want to do the 625? 625 I think is more accurate for your property, or do you want to price it slightly under with the strategy here and generate multiple offers to get it bid up? Or if the market's not responding, we'll actually be priced accurately. You want to go 600 or 625? Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, the seller's like, let's go the 600. So when you do this, the best marketing for a property is pricing it accurately. Most people don't realize it actually protects the seller because it puts them in a position where they're not chasing down the market, and it gets them in a position to get it bid up. Sellers don't understand all this stuff. You have to explain it to them. Write it down. They'll understand it if you explain it. Take time on this part of the listing presentation to get the price accurately for the listing. Most important part of the listing is pricing it accurately. Don't collect listings just to put signs in the yard. Get listings to get them sold for top dollar and use this pricing strategy. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you have any questions about real estate or your business, don't hesitate to reach out. Love to chat with you and help you out in any way I can. Thank you for watching.